keep the four-legged members of your family safe during freezing temperatures. And lovers of anime in Joplin find a cool place to stay warm. KOAM News at 10 is next. Now at 10, with the cold temps arriving in the 4 states, we have advice to help you protect your pipes. Plus,
I spoke to a local vet about how to keep animals safe during the cold temperatures during the winter. I'm Melissa Alexis, and I'll have that story coming up.
And we have an update on a couple of road improvement projects in Joplin.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The first weekend of the new year could spell troublesome for drivers. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Tanya Bach. AAA is urging drivers to prepare for wintry conditions this weekend. And we've got our eye on the incoming storm as well. Let's go straight to Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty for a first look at this weekend's forecast.
Yeah, thankfully today was pretty quiet and temperatures pretty good for us today. 50 for a high, average high is 45 degrees, and we look okay right now. We're sitting near 40 outside. We do have a cold front that is pushing through. This is going to drop us back later on tonight down into the mid 20s, but most of us upper 30s to lower 40s at this point in time. All right, next storm system. This starts to roll in as we head into the weekend. So here's Saturday, about the noon hour, we're going to start to get some drizzle popping up across the region. I think most of this is going to be liquid. We're going to see drizzle Saturday afternoon, and then showers and even some thunderstorms starting to build in as we get into Saturday night. By Sunday, we start the day with rain, and then we switch over to snow. So we're going to be talking more about that here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. With colder temperatures on the way, it's a good time to start thinking about how to protect your home. To avoid costly damage and to stay warm, make sure you're keeping an eye on your pipes. Missouri American Water in Joplin reminds us you need to know how to turn off your main water shutoff valve and to ensure your sprinkler or irrigation system is fully drained. Taking these simple steps can save you time, money, and the headache of unexpected repairs this season.
First of all, to let the water trickle, keeping pipes exposed to warm air, whether that be opening cabinet doors, using heat tape to wrap the pipes, location of their shutoff valve, so in the event that pipes do burst, they can shut the water off quickly.
Missouri American also says you should wrap exposed pipes with insulation to help prevent them from freezing as well. Well, winter is coming, along with dangerous cold temperatures, and those temps can be difficult for both people and for pets. KOAM's Melissa Alexis spoke to a local veterinarian about how to keep your pets safe.
Brandy Shipley has raised Great Danes for as long as she can remember. It's something she learned from her father.
I have always had a love for dogs.
And as the seasons change, she's keeping her pet's safety on her mind.
It's very cold outside. And especially I hear we're supposed to get some wonderful weather coming up.
Cold temperatures can be hard on humans, but they can also be really brutal on our four-legged friends.
Outside pets that don't have carpet, heat and air, those things, you need to make sure you check on them, or they have straw in there or something to keep them warm.
And veterinarian Curtis L. Gregory at Columbus Veterinary Clinic says a pet's lungs are more vulnerable to the cold air than humans.
We take those animals and tell them to go outside to the bathroom when it's below 20 degrees Fahrenheit, their airways just tighten up. So they can, as a result, get low blood pressure going to their brain because we're not pumping good warm air through the rest of the body. Their muscles can cramp up.
He says to make sure outside water bowls don't freeze over, as it can lead to dehydration. He says heated water bowls can help prevent this.
Make sure that they do have open water all the time, and you want to use the heated bowls. It is nice to make sure that they, for one, don't get too hot, and for two, that they don't have a short in them.
Another thing to look out for are pets curling up under your car to stay warm.
Animals always like to get underneath their vehicles, or kittens underneath the hood of your cars or whatever. So a good thing would be to make sure you check or start your car and give it a few minutes to warm up in case there's any animals underneath it there.
Dr. Gregory says while it's important to keep your pet's safety in mind, it's also important to let them go outside and have fun.
Pets got to be pets and play like they want to. just a matter of taking into consideration what's good or best for their health.
Reporting in Columbus, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
According to the American Veterinary Medical Association, some people believe pets are resistant to the cold because of their fur. But this isn't always true, and both cats and dogs are susceptible to frostbite and hypothermia. Another essential area of winter preparation is your vehicle, and some simple ways to keep yourself and your vehicle safe are to make sure your tires have good tread and are properly inflated, and have your battery checked by a professional, and make sure your gas tank is at least half full to avoid a gas line freeze-up. We have more information on getting your vehicle winter ready on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Missouri Highway Patrol releases its annual New Year's Eve traffic crash report. Now, troopers reported 0 vehicle fatalities over the holiday eve, and that was out of 44 traffic crashes, 21 traffic injuries, and 50 DWIs. The numbers reflect a 30-hour counting period from 6 p.m. on Tuesday night to 11:59 Wednesday night. There were no boating crashes or drownings during this year's holiday counting period. Kansas Highway Patrol also releases its annual New Year's Eve traffic crash report. Troopers reported 1 non-DUI related fatal crash over the holiday eve. They also reported 12 DUI arrests in addition to 286 citations for speeding. The numbers reflect the same counting period as the Missouri Highway Patrols. And we have an update on roadwork progress in Joplin. Crews have made progress on the Zora and Duquesne intersection improvement project, with the foundation for the new roundabout taking shape. Take a look. And while the roundabout has yet to open, work continues with the anticipated completion date of early 2025. Now, work also continues at the intersection of 4th Street and Murphy Boulevard. This beautification and traffic improvement project is also scheduled for completion in early 2025. Police say they have a more clear picture of the man behind a deadly terror attack in New Orleans, which killed more than a dozen people. That story coming up. And authorities say the driver of the Cybertruck explosion in Las Vegas may have been a decorated soldier. The FBI now says the man who drove a pickup truck into a crowd of New Year's Eve revelers in New Orleans did not have help in carrying out the attack. Officials say 14 people were killed and at least 35 injured. The attacker was killed in a shootout with police, ending the mayhem that shocked the city and the nation. CBS News correspondent Katie Weiss has the latest from New Orleans.
The FBI says the Army veteran who drove a pickup truck into a crowd of New Year's revelers in the heart of New Orleans acted alone. That reverses the FBI's view from a day before.
Nothing to indicate through call records, through anything on those devices, through interviews, through anything in our systems that he was aided in this attack by anybody.
According to the FBI, Shamsuddin Jabbar rented an electric truck on Monday in Houston, Texas, where he lived, and drove to New Orleans on Tuesday evening. After midnight on the morning of the attack, he placed 2 improvised explosive devices in coolers in the French Quarter. He posted a final online video proclaiming support for ISIS just minutes before he plowed into the crowd on Bourbon Street.
He was 100% inspired by ISIS.
Trevor Neal remembers Jabbar from their time in the Army.
I can only speak for the 2011 version of Sham. Which was, he was a normal individual, no red flags, great soldier, phenomenal friend.
A cousin of one of the victims, 25-year-old Matthew Tenedorio, reflected on the tragedy.
We still haven't really wrapped our minds around that. A terrorist attack took our Matthew away.
Bourbon Street reopened under heightened security as New Orleans seeks to return to some sense of its old self. College football fans prepared for the Sugar Bowl, which was postponed by a day. Before Thursday's game, fans at the Superdome remembered victims of the deadliest act of mass murder in the U.S. in more than a year, with a moment of silence. Katie Weiss, CBS News, New Orleans.
Well, the FBI searched Jabbar's house earlier today. Authorities say an Army soldier took his own life with a pistol before the rented Tesla Cybertruck he was driving blew up outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Investigators say the blast happened in less than 20 seconds. Inside the charged Cybertruck A forensic techs recovered a military ID, a passport, as well as 2 semi-automatic guns bought legally on Monday and credit cards. ATF says some of the materials found at the scene were consumer-grade fireworks and fuel enhancers that can be purchased at sporting goods stores. Police believe the driver was 37-year-old Matthew Leibelsberger, a highly decorated Green Beret who was on leave from his base in Germany. Well, the former home of one of Joplin's most famous athletes is now honoring his legacy. A crew has been working for the past 10 months to restore the past home of Irish Johnny Copeland, who started his boxing career in 1960 as a member of the Joplin Boys Club. By 1970, Copeland turned professional, earning 26 knockouts during his pro career. And now the Joplin Icon's home has been renovated to become a memorabilia house, honoring Copeland and his career.
This is, at the end of the day, putting a footprint, if not anything, putting a footprint for the younger generation to see and remember him.
Today marked a ribbon cutting for the site. Work is not finished yet. In the meantime, organizers have applied to have the home listed as a historic landmark. Well, Mercy in Joplin welcomes its first baby of the new year. Raella Miles entered the world at 1:58 p.m. on January 1st. Not to be outdone, Mercy in Pittsburgh announced its first baby of the new year. Deasia Jackson made her debut at 2:46 in the afternoon, also on the 1st. Babies born in the new year and in the next 14 years will make up Generation Beta, the newest generation that experts predict will grow up with artificial intelligence in every aspect of their life. A little later, some grown-up fans of anime and manga culture in Joplin find a warm place to gather today.
Plus, I'm going to give you the latest new data in on our storm system for the weekend coming up next. Well, it turned out to be a decent Thursday for us today. A little chilly, but still hot temperatures near 50 degrees, which is pretty good for the beginning of January. Looks good right now. Great shot of our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, so we have a weak little wave dropping through. So we've had some clouds. We've had some showers aloft. Not a whole bunch of this has been reaching the ground. We've had a sprinkler too, but that is just about it. Weak little wave continues to scoot right on off toward the east. And here's our next storm system building in Pacific Northwest. This system will start to affect us by the time we head into the weekend. So let's go ahead and break it down. We're going to start with your Friday. Clear skies to start, cold, mid-20s. Partly sunny skies through the morning. I think we'll see a decent amount of sunshine. By noon, upper 30s. I think most of us 41, 42, 43 degrees. So not bad for Friday. Clouds increase tomorrow night. So we start the day Saturday, cloudy into the upper 20s. As we go through the morning, we'll start to get some drizzle. This could be freezing drizzle for a couple hours, but temperatures will warm, and then we'll just have drizzle. So mainly all day long, just gloomy, kind of foggy, and drizzle across the region. As we get into Saturday night, here's where the rain starts to pick up. Now, we do want to watch our northern counties because they're going to hang near freezing. That means Stockton, Nevada, Fort Scott, Iola, Yates Center. You guys will get quite a bit of ice, 1/4 of an inch of ice, maybe a little bit more. Everybody else gets rain, showers, thunderstorms. As we go through the overnight hours, all the way into Sunday morning, temperatures well above freezing. It's Sunday afternoon that we have to keep our eyes on as this colder air starts to rotate back in from the west. So let's go ahead and look at Sunday. We start with rain. The newest data has this system a hair farther south, which would put us in a little heavier band of snow once we get into Sunday afternoon. I still don't think it's going to be very heavy, but we're going to get a band of snow. Late Sunday, Sunday evening, and then most of this will rotate out of here once we get to about midnight on Monday night. But temperatures, they don't go anywhere. On Monday, we're going to have a northerly wind off a very thick snowpack to our north, so only lower 20s. And then we drop upper single digits to lower teens by Tuesday morning. All right, let's talk ice. Just a light little glaze, shouldn't cause many issues except our northern counties near 1/4 of an inch. Snow on the back end of this system, not much, under 2 inches. I think the north of I-44 probably in that 1 to 2 inch range. It will cause some road impacts because temperatures are going to be so cold, so we do need to watch that as we get into late Sunday and Monday. Also, the winds are going to be strong, so wind chill factors below 0 by the time we get to Monday morning. All right, 42 tomorrow, 39 on Saturday. Possible alert day on Sunday for inconvenience with some light snow. And then very cold, 26 Monday, 27 on Tuesday. Overnight lows into the teens.
I like how you call it for inconvenience.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the bosses keep telling me. Inconvenience day.
Yeah, well, maybe we should all stay home that day. It sounds like a cozy day. All right, thanks, Doug. Well, still ahead, Missouri Southern begins to look for a new volleyball head coach. And Pittsburgh State basketball returns from its holiday break. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
After going a couple of weeks without any games over the holidays, Pittsburgh State men's and women's basketball both return to action tonight at home. Pitt State women's basketball playing its first home game since early December. Gorillas host Arkansas Fort Smith. We start in the first quarter. Grace Pyle drains a three-pointer. She would go on to score 20 points tonight, and she also passes her head coach Amanda David on the all-time scoring list. Later in the half, Corinna Gerber goes to work in the paint. She gets a tough bucket to go. Next possession, Clara Swearingen finds Gerber again, and PSU builds a 7-point lead at halftime. We go to the second half, more from Gerber. She continues her impressive night, gets the layup plus the foul right here. A little later, Gerber double teamed, and it doesn't matter. She finds a way to score. How about one more for you? Harper Schreiner finds Gerber for 2 more points. Huge game from Corinna Gerber. She scores a career high, 35 points. Pitt State goes on to throttle Fort Smith, 91-71 the final.
I thought my teammates they give me the ball well and they know how to find me. So really it's I can't do anything without them. And, shooting a lot of free throws, that's where I like to get a lot of my points. But we usually don't come out then in the new year with an MIAA team, and so we really had to lock in for this one. But I was happy with our team performance. It was good.
Over to the men's side, Pitt State also playing host to the Lions of Arkansas Fort Smith. First points of the night belong to Avery Taggart. He buries the 3 from the top of the key. Next possession, Taggart in the corner, knocks another one in from beyond the arc. The Missouri Southern transfer scored 12 points tonight. Still in the first, R.J. Forney fires from a very similar spot and gets a similar result. He knocks it down for 3. Not long after that, here's Forney again, hitting this time from the mid-range. Pitt State up by 18 at that point. We continue later on in the first half. PSU finds a way to get it into Tane Prichter, and he uses his size for the big-time dunk. Next possession, here's Prichter again, sending it home on the alley-oop. Pitt State handles business at home. Gorillas win it 70-59. Well, for the second consecutive offseason, the Joplin Outlaws announced some changes in their front office. Now, last year, Nick Weisenborn was the team's general manager. He then moved on to a new role with the league office this fall. This morning, the Joplin Outlaws introduced Brian Flynn as their new owner and president of baseball operations. He's a former professional baseball player, originally from Tulsa. Flynn was drafted by the Detroit Tigers in 2011, and he went on to spend 3 seasons as a pitcher with the Kansas City Royals from 2016 to 2019. In a release from the Outlaws on social media, Flynn stated that some of his favorite baseball memories came from collegiate summer teams and went on to say, quote, "I'm excited to bring Outlaws fans top-tier summer entertainment and create unforgettable memories for our entire community." Some more news out of Joplin this afternoon. Missouri Southern volleyball head coach Kaylee Carlisle is resigning from her position after 7 seasons of leading the Lions program. In that time, Southern accumulated a record of 61-135 and went 35-87 against MIAA teams. According to a release from MSSU Athletics, former assistant Joshua Moore has been the acting head coach since October. Back to some of those basketball games. It seems like the holiday rest, the 2 weeks off, no rust for Pitt State. They look pretty good tonight.
Well, like they said, they needed to practice and get ready because they had to come out and play an MIAA team.
And they were ready.
Out of the gate. They could. That was awesome.
Yeah.
All right, that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this. What began as a passion for anime in their teenage years has now evolved into a gathering of adults who come together to watch the latest shows at the public library in Joplin. And tonight, the library hosted an anime manga hangout for grown-ups event. Organizers say activities like these provide an opportunity for those interested to connect with others and enjoy the culture.
So this started because we have a version of this for in the teen department for teens, and it was really popular. They still host it every month, and we had teens that were aging out of that program that were, not teenagers anymore. So we began to get requests for an adult version.
The library will host more gatherings for anime and manga lovers on February 6th and March 6th. Final check of the forecast?
Yeah, it's going to be a decent Friday, 42. It's going to be chilly, cloudy, dreary on Saturday, drizzle, and then showers and thunderstorms Saturday night, rain to snow on Sunday and turning sharply colder.
All right, well, buckle down. Final sports note.
Pro basketball, the Thunder win again tonight. They've won 13 games in a row. It's the longest winning streak in the NBA.
Wow, 13. All right, well, thank you for watching, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a great night and an even better Friday.